Love of the game is at the heart of all sports, but certain sports, especially running, rugby, basketball, football, or even skateboarding, as we are focusing on this morning, have an increased risk of knee joint injury because of the harsh movements inherent to those particular sports. We've seen a couple of high-profile examples of that, Wade van Niekerk being one. Now, sudden stops, twists and turns, or the pressure that's put on knee joints while running can cause pain and injury. Now, Stormers and Western Province rugby physiotherapist Wayne Hector now joins us this morning to share his tips on how to prevent and treat the dreaded knee injury. Wayne, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thanks for having me.
I'm sure you could tell us some tales about that moment of terror. It's almost, especially within rugby, how many amazing rugby players have had their careers ended or at least put on hold for a year because of the knee. Why is the knee such a dangerous point of contact when it comes to professional sportsmen especially? Why do we focus on the knee health?
Look, it's one of the major weight-bearing joints of the body. There are probably 6 really important structures within the knee. And if you damage those structures, it's pretty difficult to function without them. Obviously, if there's more than one of those structures that go, then we're in serious trouble.
So what are the most common causes of knee injuries? What do we need to be aware of?
Obviously, I come back from a rugby environment, so trauma is a big thing. You know, it's a high intensity collision sport, so guys are running into each other at 100 miles an hour. They
at 100 kgs.
They generally weigh about 100 kgs. So, you know, the knee joint takes a fair amount of punishment. The big injuries tend to be ligament injuries, cartilage injuries, but, you know, there's a wide array. It could be wear and tear over a long period of time. It could be a muscle imbalances, so there's a wide variety of things that can go wrong in the knee joint.
You need to be free when playing these sports. I'm sure, especially at the level that you are operating at. These guys can't go into a match thinking about the safety of their joints. Yeah. But for most of us going out there that are maybe running, clocking the miles, or wanting to play social rugby, getting out there and being active, how should we approach our sport to look after our knees specifically? What should we be aware of?
Look, I think the most important thing is to make sure that you're adequately prepared for the game. So make sure your conditioning is up to scratch. Make sure that you strengthen the muscles around the joint sufficiently. Your sense of proprioception around the joint needs to be on par. And by doing, I'm quite a big proponent of prehabilitation or preventative rehabilitation. So, you know, one has to focus on those little things in order to get yourself ready for the game.
What does prehabilitation actually mean? So whenever I go to the various sports science institutes and see how much focus is put on sleep and prevention before the actual injury happens, what does that actually mean? How do athletes go about, you know, pre-preparing themselves for these sorts of things?
Look, I mean, the general focus when most guys go to the gym is to focus on what you see in the mirror as opposed to the little muscles that tend to stabilize the joint. And, you know, obviously when it comes to the knee, one shouldn't only focus around the joint itself, but it's quite important to focus higher up the biomechanical chain as well.
Okay.
So, you know, from a pre-ab point of view, they tend to be really boring, repetitive exercises, and the players tend to get a little bit frustrated by it, but they see the benefits in the long run.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's if you can last a season without that kind of injury, then it's paid for itself, undoubtedly. If you are already experiencing some pain, what should you do, and why do you recommend ACTIMOVE?
So, you know, obviously it's a really high-quality product. You want to unload the painful structures as best you can, or support them as best you can. And ACTIMOVE, it's really well molded. It comes in various sizes. They're kid sizes as well, and it's got certain technology that's built into the actual product. There's something that we call CoolMax technology, which is a cooling type of preparation. And one of the biggest things is that it's neoprene free. So, you know, it's one of the most common complaints is that you when you wear a brace or it's made of neoprene, it feels like you're wearing a wetsuit.
Yeah, exactly.
It's hot and sweaty and restrictive.
It doesn't breathe at all.
Yeah.
Completely. You need the support, and there are options available to you. I'm just wondering if there's a body sock version of this that you can just put all over my entire body and just keep me braced. Absolutely brilliant. Thank you for letting us lean on your expertise. It is something that I think a lot. I know how damaging an injury like this can be for the career, especially in rugby. So thank you for all the support that you've given, no pun intended, to all of the athletes out there. And thank you so much for your advice this morning. I think sport is not only beneficial for our physical and obviously our mental well-being, but it helps to strengthen our bones and tones our muscles as well. And if you want to get your hands, your wrists, your knees, for that matter, on ACTIMOVE's products, which are brilliant, be sure to visit their Facebook page for participating pharmacies and the online stores where you can find their braces and their supports. As you can see, they've got a full range, and ACTIMOVE are giving you guys the chance to win a hamper to the value of, get this, 2,700 Rand. That'll take you far. We simply need you to head over to their Facebook page, not ours. Go to ACTIMOVE's Facebook page, like it, and then comment on the competition post by tagging a group of friends and creating a Get Fit challenge. Then share the post with that hashtag Summer Bodies Are Active Bodies. And this week's competition closes at 9 a.m. on Friday. That's the 22nd of October. But as always, you can find all of those terms and conditions online, in fact, on their Facebook page. Good luck.